This is the Effing One Podcast, Australia's only Formula One podcast with Adam and Luke.
G'day and welcome to Effing One Podcast. It's Australia's most unprepared, hastily put together podcast. But on the upside, this has been voted by Knitting and Crochet magazine, thank you Dawn and Maureen, as Australia's sexiest Formula One podcast. My partner in crime to my right, no stranger to the front cover of that highly respectable bastion of haberdashery. So let's stop dicking around and get this mildly amusing podcast underway with two slightly overweight middle-aged Aussie blokes getting dressed up and dressed down whenever the mood is right. So if you like your Formula One a bit spicy, a bit unpalatable, sit down and shut up! Because it's time to go head first, pants down, and make Formula One great again. G'day, Luke!
Adam.
How are you, big guy?
I'm wearing the crochet mankini from the cover of the magazine.
Beautiful.
And it's quite accommodating for the undercarriage.
Well, breathes as well, being 100%
in
Australian wool.
Australian wool. And it is summer here, so the boys need to breathe.
Yep, and breathe they are. It seems like the Suckhere Bahrain Grand Prix didn't suck so bad.
No, certainly did not.
No
I think
sucking.
we should get rid of the other Bahrain track and keep the Suckhere track. I like the outer race.
Fast,
Yeah,
Luke.
fast.
Overtaking galore. And
Side-by-side racing, going around a few corners.
Fuck me. Just when you thought the season was over, there was so much to play for in this, the second last Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So many elements that you're going to take us through, Luke, because we have a new winner. And has there ever been a more timely win for a driver that you can ever remember? When a driver needed to win, and they bloody well did.
He sure did. Will that keep him in Formula One?
The guy hasn't got a seat for next year.
Still doesn't.
And
The music's just about stopped.
yeah, but is he now guaranteed a seat?
Well,
Surely.
not yet. He deserves a seat.
We should say the name.
Sergio
Sergio
Perez.
Perez.
The
Chico
Tijuana
Mendes.
Tussler.
The Tijuana.
Checo Perez.
First ever Grand Prix win.
I was so happy. As much as I was gutted for George Russell,
Yeah.
I was so happy that it wasn't Valtteri who won or someone else who'd won a race, that it was, George Russell's misfortune had led to Sergio Perez winning.
Well, George Russell had some rotten luck twice.
Oh,
What was going on with the Mercedes-Benz pit crew as well?
I think he had a black hat in his
a puncture.
cockpit. He just kept kicking it every time he was braking.
And he drove beautifully. And, I mean, that guy, there's another great story from the race. George Russell, all eyes were on him, and he was fantastic. Nailed it. Passed Bottas. Made Bottas look like an old, like the driver he is.
Made him look exactly like he is.
the way that we knew he was. And there's another compelling argument. How can you possibly keep, he's signed obviously for next year. How would you keep Bottas? Is there some way out of this clause? Can Toto, let's get out. Can I get out of it? I don't know. Can he get out of it?
Of course not.
I know.
He's signed.
He's
He signed.
signed up.
We want a driver who isn't going to, prevent Lewis from winning a championship. He's going to be good at finishing second. He's a great wingman.
Great wingman. And does it somehow, I mean, it's early, it's only one race, but does it lessen Hamilton's accomplishments? The fact that George Russell could just turn up driving the shittest car and be better than Bottas, who's been pushing Hamilton. It's like, well, of course, Hamilton, you're going to win 7 world championships because clearly got the best car. Some other dude just rocks up, drives your exact car, who's 6'5".
He has to wear a shoe size smaller to fit into the...
He said it's like sitting in a bathtub and he comes out and he's all crooked and he's all mangled and he still drives beautifully.
Yeah, drove a phenomenal race. Well done, George Russell. Lap 1, got a great start into the second, third gear. The second phase at the start, he jumped Bottas. Bottas got wiggly on the exit of turn 2, and Russell went away into the distance before the safety car was called after Charles Leclerc drove straight into the back of the eventual race winner, Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez took an almighty thump at the rear, which you would only really suspect Sebastian Vettel to thump you at the rear. Is that kind of...
He does love it, doesn't he?
But, and then Max Verstappen, out of sympathy, just drove straight into the wall.
I love it, Max.
He thought, you know what, I can just drive around this. And Max always thinks the way to get out of something is with the accelerator.
Yeah.
And he drove straight to the wall.
He sure did.
And so Leclerc out of the race, Max Verstappen out of the race, turn, I think it was 4, maybe? 4, further in. But yeah, Sergio Perez spun, went back to 18th, so that was last place after the safety car restart. And he fought his way back up all the way to win his first ever Grand Prix. He's got one more race to go. Pretty much after the race, he said that it looks like he won't have a drive for next year.
Wow.
Everything's gone quiet.
Mind-boggling.
But he has options for 2022. So he's in full anticipation that he'll be back in some way, shape or form. Romain Grosjean will not be racing this weekend. He is pulled out. He will not be racing in Abu
He's
Dhabi.
pulled out. Oh, that's his final race. He won't get to...
He's pulled out.
It's official.
Toto Wolff extended an invitation to Romain Grosjean because Romain Grosjean didn't want to finish his Formula 1 career on fire.
Literally.
So he's like, I don't want to finish after in an accident. So Toto's like, if your teams don't want to put you in an F1 car for a drive, we'll put you in our car and you can drive our car. Wouldn't you fucking do that?
Absolutely you would.
Putting your hands up to, let
that?
me drive
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
the World Championship car.
Absolutely.
What a great little
It's a great thing.
sign to, hey, here you go. You didn't die. Have a drive in
Have a
this.
little drive
You
in
might
this.
die in this.
Yeah. Now you've been to heaven. You were in hell. You drove for Haas last week.
That's it.
Now you're driving for Mercedes.
From the Haas
You're in heaven.
holes to the heavenly
Wow.
doors of Mercedes.
Wow. I mean, what a race. It was just... Thank goodness Mercedes fucked up so bad and there was so much bad luck. Because George Russell lost nothing. Sure, he was disappointed that he didn't win the race. Deserved to win the race, rightfully.
Got some points.
Got some points. But
Fastest lap
he
of the
got
race.
more than points. He got the respect from everyone.
But that also, as you said before, that questions Hamilton. Questions the ability that he has. And clearly
No
he's
doubt,
in
he's
the best
amazing.
car. He's
But-
a 7-time world champion
But
against a teammate that's probably not that strong.
But when some dude can just turn up, never drive your car before,
Exactly.
isn't fitted into that car properly, and be that fast and be that good, what does it say? Hamilton comes back and, and of course what it says about Bottas. It says, what's he doing there?
It wasn't a flash in the pan. He had a consistent gap ahead of Valtteri. When the second, I think it was a virtual safety car came out, they used it as they called it a safety stop. Toto said after the race, and when I watched them, like, why are they stopping? They don't need to. They're fine. But they call it a safety stop. Let's put on fresh boots, head back out, we'll be fine. They went in, they put Bottas's tyres on George Russell. George Russell went out with Bottas's tyres. Bottas came in, they started changing the tyres, then the front left guy picked up on it. He saw the tyre because he put it on and then he's like, wait a minute, that's George's tyre. We're putting on Bottas. We have to take this off. Because he didn't leave pit lane, he didn't do a lap, so this is just calamitous. So they've put his tyres that he just came in on back on. They've gone through a heat cycle. So it's not going to be the ultimate performance, and it's on Bottas. And then, so George was driving around on Valtteri tyres, which I think Mercedes got a $20,000 fine.
Okay.
Which is pittance. I thought he'd be excluded from the results because he used a 14th set of tyres. Then you only get 13 allocated over the weekend.
Yeah.
I was surprised that he didn't get excluded, but they went with a fine instead. So George kept his fastest lap and the points for that, and the points that he got for his position in ninth. So he came away with 3 World Championship points, his first World Championship points ever. And after he pitted, he came back in again because they'd pitted the wrong tyres. He went back out there I think he was sitting in 5th or 6th, and then worked his way up, overtaking, bang, 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 back behind Valtteri.
Yeah.
Made one hell of a move. One of the
Beautiful.
best moves of the year.
Yeah.
Around the outside and in over the top part of the Suckhere circuit, the outer circuit they've got there. Beautiful move, and just made it stick. And
Yeah.
you're like, this guy's going to win this race now.
Yeah.
So he went up, was catching Sergio Perez, was probably within 2.5 seconds of him. And then he got a call over the radio that he had a slow puncture. And George was like, I
you're
can't. But like he
kidding
said
me.
afterwards, he's like, I didn't think it was the truth. He goes, but I could feel it
Oh, really?
starting to crab out of corners.
Yeah, yeah.
So it wasn't a full delamination. It was just a puncture. The air was coming out, and he said he could feel. He didn't want to believe it, but he could actually
feel it.
start to feel it. He's like, I have to pit. It's not like it's a sensor issue that's gone bad. He could feel it, and he's like, okay, I'll come in. So he went back to 12th, and then he just fought his way up in the last few laps to get the last few places, overtake Perez, Norris, Pierre Gasly, and
Yep.
Norris to get into the points. Finished 9th, but a great race from Sergio Perez. I don't know what happened to under that virtual safety car. Carlos Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo pitted. They didn't need to. They were on their tyres that they were going to finish the race on.
Yeah.
Daniel Kvyat was ahead of them. He'd already pitted, so he'd got them out of the way. So it was just Carlos and Daniel. The virtual safety car was coming to an end. And you can see it when you're watching it. It says it's coming to an end. And then you see Carlos and Daniel go into pit lane. I'm like, you don't need to go
So
in there.
had they've not got in, what could have been the top 3?
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
Yeah,
easy.
easy.
It's a bit of a shame.
Carlos could have won that race.
But having said that, also great race for, although a lot of good fortune, Esteban Ocon got his second place, the best position for Renault for many, many years.
Drove a great race. Made a really good move on Lance Stroll after Lance pitted, and made the overtake that got him into second place.
Yeah.
He's had some bad luck this year. He's had some mechanical failures. He's
been flogged by Daniel in qualifying.
Yeah.
And but that was he did a great job.
Yep, second place. Great result for the team. He has a weird way of celebrating. You know when you just see someone who's a little bit awkward? Like there's a few guys in V8s that when they celebrate, like, you don't do this often, do you?
Yeah.
You don't really
No.
remember how to celebrate. And he's all tall and lanky and awkward anyway. So, but yeah, really happy that Esteban Ocon. I knew when I said at the start of the year that Esteban Ocon would get a podium.
Yep.
I thought it would be out of luck and maybe before Daniel. But he definitely got it.
Bit of confidence he can take on board there for that and into next year as well.
Yeah.
'Cause he's going to be driving against a pretty tough team, mate. If you think Dan was pretty tough, Dan's bloody fast, but the psychological warfare he's going to have to be ready for when he takes on
Fernando Alonso.
Fernando, fuck a duck.
And the beauty about Fernando Alonso,
Just mind games, that guy.
mind games, he's super quick and he'll destroy someone.
Yeah.
He'll destroy Esteban Ocon next year. And the news is that the young Fernando Alonso will be taking part in the young driver test, which is after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's normally reserved for drivers who are young and up and coming into Formula One. So you see a lot of young and new talent.
Old and crusty.
I
also.
think like Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin, a lot of other drivers will be the next generation will be driving the young driver test. But Sebastian Buemi, who's for Red Bull, he's their reserve driver. He'll be driving because he hasn't been actively driving this year in Formula One, so he gets the test. Fernando Alonso hasn't been actively driving in Formula One, so Alonso gets the test, even though he's 39. He's part of the young driver test. So I consider myself still young.
Yeah, you are young, Luke. And you look fantastic, by the way, must be said. Your dieting and exercise regime, working a treat. How much have you lost now?
Pizza and chocolate.
So you can eat the good, the yummy stuff and still keep the weight off, Luke.
That's it. I've lost nearly 20 kilos.
You're a walk and talk and advertisement for for weight loss, for man shakes. Another great podium.
Mate, I have a different kind of man shake.
No, you do. I know you
Lose
do.
a little bit of weight from
I
that.
don't go in your bed. I refuse to go in there. I will not go in there.
It's a bedroom of sin.
Lance Stroll. He got a podium as
He
well.
did get a podium. Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll, very good mates, so they got to share the podium. But again, someone is just awkward. Weird.
Yeah,
You want to see someone with a bit of flamboyance.
you
up
do.
there.
You
Very
do.
happy that Sergio Perez won the race. Sitting on the top step. Very similar to what Pierre Gasly did in Monza, just kind of sat there and just really
Just
soaked it all in.
Soaked it in, and what a fortune!
And the year that he's had, he had COVID. He missed out on a race or two.
Yep, lost points as well. The whole team lost points.
Yep.
And now
And especially the race before, he's getting ready for a podium
that's right.
in the first Bahrain.
He was gutted,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he's now in fourth place
Yep.
on the drivers, and pretty much locked that in. You'd think.
That's a fair chunk of points, 25 points for a win.
Yeah, fantastic. And just like we mentioned, the pressure, what a pressure moment. If at any time in a sportsman's career that you want to perform like that and have that kind of day, it's the second race of the second last race of the year. You don't ever drive. The pressure is on.
Yep.
And the guy that you're directly fighting with for that potential Red Bull seat next year, Alexander Albon,
Yep.
does absolutely bugger all. I mean, what on the reverse side of Sergio having such a triumphant weekend? Albon.
I'd like to make a point about Albon. Not only has he underperformed, I think we can all guarantee and understand that. Like, there's no ill feelings towards the TIE fighter, but he's also crashed and binned the car a lot this year.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of late nights for Red Bull
Yeah.
to fix cars and fix bits. And the funny also I'll go back to the first Bahrain Grand Prix. Sergio Perez was on fire, and they nearly didn't have enough spares. They had to make parts for the weekend after's race. The factory churned out parts as quickly as they could to get them to Bahrain. They used Lawrence Stroll's private jet to fly the new parts, the replacement parts that were all burnt up.
Jesus.
And the guy won the race. So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a Cinderella story
Yeah.
to be like, hey, we may not have enough parts to race this weekend.
Yeah.
The teams work their ass off, and they've got full dividends of first and third. So great job racing
Amazing.
point.
And he had an old engine that he was concerned about wouldn't even actually make the end of the race.
Yep. But it is an old Mercedes engine. That's a pretty nice thing
An
to
old
have in the back.
Mercedes engine is a Rolls Royce.
Yeah,
I mean,
you'd
that's-
take an old Mercedes engine over anything, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So big stories. George Russell looked amazing. Alexander Albon, big trouble.
Man, wouldn't it be bad being George Russell? No matter the result, but now you're driving a Williams again this
I
weekend.
know, the frustration.
Yeah.
Imagine going from...
You know how good Formula One racing a car can be, and you're just like, I'm going to go back to this.
You go from a Lamborghini to a...
Imagine taking a Ferrari
Hyundai.
for a test drive, and then you got to go back to your
Yeah.
Fiat Punto.
Yeah,
And,
right.
No, this is shit.
Exactly what that's like.
Or a
That's what
Nissan Bluebird
Nissan Bluebird.
from 1983.
Hyundai i30. It's going to be he would have been just rubbing his lips together, wouldn't he? Waiting for this weekend and Hamilton to have to sit out again.
Or from going from an Audi to a Toyota Camry.
Yes. Yes.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
It
Yeah.
just hurts.
Massive. And it hurts. Poor Albon. You got to feel sorry for him. You got to feel sorry.
I don't.
Wow. He's a nice guy, but he's just
He's
not.
a lovely guy.
It just goes to show some of these young guys have been promoted too soon, too much too soon. I mean, look at what Red Bull have had to do with their young driver program. How many guys have been promoted and then demoted?
But they would, if they had done things right, and Carlos Sainz is in the Red Bull driver program.
Yeah.
He was part of their family,
Yeah.
and they didn't treat him well,
No.
and he decided, no, fuck this,
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on do you think Albon will be driving a Red Bull next year? Surely now there's no way that can happen. Surely, because he's not signed, nor is Perez. Surely Perez gets the call up
I think
after this week.
he's a race winner, and what I can't wrap my head around is Gasly's had a phenomenal year. and the fact that he's not being promoted, he was the first to re-sign out of everything.
Yeah.
And
But maybe they're just like fifth time bitten, sixth time shy, promoting these young guys. Maybe they're like, okay, maybe we need to get an experienced driver in.
I thought about this in the shower the other night. When I had
As
my
you do.
secret time. I always think about Formula 1 when I'm in the shower. The man, Pierre Gasly, will go to Renault. I think Esteban Ocon will get his ass handed to him by Fernando Alonso.
Yeah.
They'll want a French driver. Gasly will be out of Red Bull because he's like, you're not going to give me the Red Bull drive. I'm going to go to a Renault team.
Yeah. He's not going anywhere. He's got to move sideways.
Yep. Unless Ocon does amazing things against Alonso.
What do you think? Okay, so if Ocon gets smashed by Alonso next year, where does Ocon go? In 2023. Oh, sorry, 2022.
DTM.
He's out.
He's out. Formula E. IndyCar.
Well, he's not going to go to Mercedes because George has got
No.
spot.
George has got,
He's got that wrapped up.
Yeah. He's still in their academy.
George has to drive.
But I think his stock has dropped because of what Daniel has done to him this year.
Yeah, and I think what that weekend did, it just highlighted that there's no way that Bottas will be driving in 2022 for a Mercedes-Benz team.
Well,
Surely not.
you'd hope not.
Unless Hamilton has a hissy fit and says, I'm not having anyone else except Bottas in that team.
Could be the case.
That might be the case.
But I hope that it is a George. I hope that it is a George and Hamilton.
Yeah. How did the other young boys go? The first-timers?
So Aiken did not a bad job. He had a bit of a moment at the exit of the last corner. Spun, knocked his front wing off. That caused I think that is what caused
George Russell.
the virtual safety car.
Yeah. Caused George Russell twice, I think, to have some issues.
Yeah. So that caused the
Yeah.
safety pit stop that they took, that they didn't need. And yeah, Aiken lost his front wing, but he finished ahead of Latifi. Latifi ended the race early anyway. And
Fittipaldi?
Pietro Fittipaldi, I think he's still driving around
Yeah.
Bahrain.
Not great.
He was a bit slow, but what do you expect? He hasn't really raced a car for a while, and but he's racing again this weekend.
Yep.
Hopefully he'll be up there or thereabouts. Mick Schumacher did free practice 1 for Haas.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be in the young driver test as well.
Luke, very, very big show coming up today.
Ooh, is this the early cell?
Big this is the early forward cell, Luke.
The forward cell.
This is what we're doing right here, as they call it in the industry.
All right.
We're going to highlight what's coming up in the show. We're going to tantalise them, bring them in with some juicy, sweet stuff.
Will there be any titillation?
There could be some. Nipple tweaking.
Ooh.
We're going to hand out some awards, Luke. Well, you are, in particular. Hand out some very highly coveted awards that we've got stashed away here that Peter has been very busy whittling this week. Very, very busy. Hand in the paddock. Gee, we've had some positive feedback.
Favorite part.
Robert Kubica, former BMW driver, Williams driver. Who else did he drive for?
He's an Alpha test driver at the moment.
Alpha test driver. He is in the paddock running around doing all the COVID testing. He's the official FIA COVID tester and a reporter for F1 podcast. We're going to catch up with him.
He does such a great job.
He does a really good job. And we're also going to catch up with four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel on this. 2 Formula One superstars on this little Aussie podcast, Luke.
Yeah.
We are punching way above our weight. Dan Ricciardo.
Oh,
Dan,
yes,
the man, is on the show, Luke.
He's on
Mr.
the line.
Personality.
We
is
got
on.
him early. We thought we'll try him a little bit earlier.
Yep. We've been promising for some time.
Yeah.
Today is the day. We're going to get Dan Ricciardo on the blower on this little Aussie podcast.
Should we talk to him now?
Let me just... Not
No?
just
Okay.
yet. Soon.
Wait till the forward
Just,
cell.
yeah, wait for the forward cell. And
End of the
then we'll do awards next. And
Yeah.
then. And
I'll just tell him we'll be 5 minutes.
Yes. Good. Just hold on, Dan, if you can hear us, if you wouldn't mind. And we're also going to do a quick little update of the track that everyone's talking about, the Formula One race that everyone is licking their lips over for next year.
I'm
Although
horny with
it
anticipation.
may not be next year, but if anything, it will definitely be 2022 with all those new races.
In this century.
Sometime in this century, we will have a Narang GP race. The Monaco of the Gold Coast, Luke. The beautiful, picturesque Monaco of the Gold Coast. Not so much water. Not so many pretty people. Not the wealth, the glitz, the glamour. But there's a whole lot of, down-to-earth Aussie blokes and chicks. Just...
Chicks with dicks.
Chicks with dicks.
There's
a lot of stuff like that going on in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's filth capital of Australia. And we're going to put a Grand Prix right smack bang in the middle
It's the
of
scab
it.
on your elbow that you just want to pick.
It's infected. It smells bad.
Smells off. It's warm.
Yep.
Dry. Not
Tropical.
nice. Tropical.
Speaking of which, warm, dry, tropical. Perfect segue into the awards. You got some awards
I
to hand out,
certainly
big
do.
fella. Let's put the first one on the table. Look at this. Peter's whittled this beautifully. Look at that. This is fashioned in the dodo bird. The very as a symbol of what we need to protect this planet with the Green Award, Luke, as we reduce carbon footprint. There it is, the dodo, the green dodo. Who won the Green Award?
The Green Award goes to... We're giving it to Charles Leclerc. Because he was out lap 1. But also his little dink into Sergio Perez made Max Verstappen. So he inadvertently... He didn't touch him, but he inadvertently took another driver out.
Does it just warm your heart early in a race when Max goes out?
Yep.
It's like, yes.
Especially...
That douchebag is out for the race.
Yeah, especially when, no one hit him.
No.
He's just all on his own.
It's all him.
Yeah.
And then he goes around.
Couldn't just be patient and
No.
let the cars drift in front of him. He's like, no, I'm going to gas it up around him over the gravel. For some reason, he thinks gravel has a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Or when he did his track walk, he didn't really realise that there was gravel there. So very thorough, put together young gentleman, decided that the accelerator was the way out of trouble once again.
And after that race, comes out and says he's never driven better in the season.
Oh.
It's his best season ever.
Yeah,
he's learned so much.
He's climbing. You know the championship he's climbing up? The Turd Championship.
He
That's
sure
the
is.
only championship he's climbing
A
up.
great big dirty Dutch turd. That's what he is. The next award is the Waste of Space, the Yuji Ide Award. Who wasted everyone's time out there?
Well,
why did they bother turning up, Luke?
You'd think it would be us, but it's not. It's Max Verstappen.
Maxi boy!
They had this, great qualifying result, top 3, and then he just went ahead and just binned it.
End it. Red Bull team, I think.
Waste of time.
You could have given it to the whole Red Bull team.
You could have.
Rubbish. The next award, the Pastor Maldonado Award for dangerous driving.
Look
Luke.
at you nailing the intros this week.
Hey?
Pastor Maldonado
I've gone
Award.
back and had a good hard look at myself, Luke, after you had a go at me the other day, and fairly rightly
Use
so.
those Viagra eye drops.
Sometimes you just got to see it and say it like it is, and you did
That's
that.
it.
You sat me down, you slapped me about, and you said, "Get a grip. Start focusing on these fucking awards. Get them right, son."
Get up, focus. Take the pills, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Focus, focus.
And I did.
You know what focus stands for? Fuck off because you're stupid.
Correct.
All right,
And
so
I was.
the Pastor Maldonado Award for dangerous driving. I thought about Charles Leclerc because he took out Sergio Perez. But if he didn't do that, Sergio wouldn't win a race.
No.
Then you had Max Verstappen, who just went off on his own.
Yep.
Very much what Pastor Maldonado would do. But I thought, we've got to give it to someone else. We'd give it to a rookie. In his first race, he spun, he hit the wall, he brought out the virtual safety car that ruined George Russell's race. We're giving it to Jack Aiken.
Jack. Well earned. Well earned.
Oh, yeah.
Well done. The next award,
Oh,
the Lick It and Send It Award for the best overtaking manoeuvre.
this could be the best overtaking maneuver of the year. George Russell
George Russell.
on Valtteri Bottas. The move that got him ahead of Valtteri
Yep.
after his botched pit stops, got him ahead, overtook and started chasing down Sergio Perez
Yep.
to no avail and to a puncture. But that move was epic.
Well done. Will be remembered.
Had to be clean, or else he would never get a drive in Mercedes.
No.
But he had to get that pass to have a possibility to win a Grand Prix.
He did everything right without actually winning.
Yep.
The next award, the Effing One Podcast Award, Luke, making Formula One great.
And he may have got that puncture
Well,
just by making that move.
yes.
But it was well worth the puncture to lose the race to get the Lickens Ended Award.
Well done.
The F1 Podcast Award
Yes.
goes to the man who won his first ever Grand Prix,
Brilliant.
Sergio Checo Perez. What a great drive. So happy for him.
So happy.
It's like Daniel Ricciardo won. That's how happy I was.
Yeah, like when he won Monaco. Just the sweet taste of victory, well deserved. I don't know how many races he raced without winning.
He's been in F1 for 10 years.
100 and something, maybe 90 races. Anyway,
A lot.
a lot of races without tasting that sweet taste of champagne and the
Top
top,
step
dive. The
champagne.
top step.
Yeah.
It tastes different at the
It
top,
is.
Luke.
It's colder.
The air's lighter, thinner, and it's much cooler, like you said. The next award is the Making Formula One Great Award, Luke. Who made Formula One great? We're out there.
That was the one we just did.
Oh. Speckled Jim, Luke. Let's do the Speckled Jim Award.
Oh, it was going so good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to sit you down again.
Oh, good Lord. Give me a good smack around the face.
No.
Speckled Jim,
I'm
you're
going
awarding...
to work the undercarriage. I'm going to really pound those balls of yours. Just a
please
speedball.
Sebastian Vettel style. Oh, he's more careful with the old... the old
Google
plum,
Shack.
The old plums. So the Speckled Jim Award, you're handing out 3 votes.
3 votes for the Speckled Jim medal. A beautiful medal made by Pete. He's a professional smelter. As long as a...
What?
Smelter.
Schmelter.
Smelter.
Schmelter? A
So
professional smelter.
he gets
A professional smelter.
great metals and he melts them down in his smelter. And he forms the Speckled Jim medal.
Look at his little face. Look at producer Pete's face. He's looking at us through the window.
Stay outside, Peter.
Yeah.
All right, so the 1 vote goes to Esteban Ocon
Yes.
for the French stick for getting on the podium, 2nd place. 2 votes to the unfortunate yet incredibly talented George Russell. And the 3 votes goes to Sergio Perez for his amazing drive and first victory.
Yes.
Well deserved. 3-2-1, gentlemen. I wish I could give out more points,
Great awards, Luke.
but suck it, Stroll.
Nah, absolutely nailed the award ceremony as usual, Luke. Bloody bang on, big fella. And if you have just stumbled across this mediocre, mildly amusing podcast,
Welcome.
And welcome, and you wondered what the bloody hell is going on, then this might help explain everything. Because as is tradition here at F1 Podcast, we must wear the native outfits, the customary national garbet. Is that the right word? Probably not.
Sounds close.
Yeah, the outfit of the host country. And being Abu Dhabi, being the next race we're about to take a look at, the very last on the calendar,
Yep.
we are wearing the native outfits of Abu Dhabi. Now, producer Peter, and it makes sense, doesn't it, Luke?
He's a seamstress
He's a seamstress. He's a whittler and a seamstress.
and a smelter.
And a smelter and a knitter and a crocheter.
Oh,
He's been reading that magazine.
he's not a very good producer.
Terrible producer, Luke. I mean,
But everything else,
he can. Well, I guess that's why we keep him, because he's good at everything except producing. And it makes sense when we dress up on a podcast. I mean, why wouldn't you dress up on a podcast?
I don't know why everyone doesn't.
It just makes complete sense.
Sure,
to me.
it's audio only. We're not going to add video to this ever. You're
No.
never going to see our face talking like this.
No. But the colour, the amount of energy and passion when we are in these outfits,
It puts us in the zone.
it's a different dynamic.
It makes me
A
feel
podcast.
Abu Dhabian.
You look Abu Dhabian. You really do right now.
Is that how you'd say?
I think the native people of Abu Dhabi are Abu Dhabians. I think you're right, Luke. I think you nailed it. So this is what you're wearing today. Peter has been seamstressing away on your outfit, and it looks delightful.
He doesn't have a sewing machine. He does it all by hand.
Correct. Hand. Oh, he's all very much a hand, trained by the royal family in seamstress.
Part of my family, the royal family.
Correct. The Monaco royal family, 11th generation, 11th to the heir to the throne, as you
Yeah.
are. It's a long story. Won't go there, but
I love that story.
It's a complicated story. Your
Please tell it.
I don't know if I can, Luke.
You can. You can get through it.
All right.
It took you 12 minutes to get through it the first time.
Okay, if you really need to know. Luke, my co-host on FE1 Podcast,
That's me.
is 11th heir to the throne of the Monaco royal family. It's hard to believe because he doesn't sound like he's got a Monegasque accent.
No,
which
not at all.
Most people in Monaco do have an accent, but he doesn't. But that's because Conchita. Sorry.
Fuck's Conchita.
Wasn't that your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother's name?
No,
I thought I
no.
get a name wrong.
That's just great grandmother.
Oh, okay. My bad. That's a different lady. You have a relative that worked in the royal house and
Royal Palace.
The royal palace, and she was very good at turning over the bed sheets, changing water on the lilies, which was her downfall. When the prince snuck up behind her while she was changing them and putting some fresh, lovely water in those lilies, and got knocked up. She got knocked up, and yes, an illegitimate heir to the throne. Sure, Luke, you may be that.
Yes.
But the blood doesn't lie, mate.
No, it doesn't.
Facts don't care about your feelings, bro.
Blue blood.
And your blood is a little bit royal.
Very royal.
Anyway, they've done the DNA tests. It's linked back to Monaco. They're not actually admitting it. I understand. It's a bit of a... You don't want,
It's a dark cloud over the Monaco family when they hear my name.
Correct. They get threatened. And if you were a chimpanzee, they would eat you.
Probably. Although my lineage also goes back to chimpanzees.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
A
But-
Cro-Magnon man.
Correct. That's why, the male chimp will beat to death and eat an offspring from another rival male.
I have
so-
calluses on the back of my knuckles. I don't know
Yes.
if that means anything.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a great story and a true story, and one that we always like to just mention because it's noteworthy.
Some people don't know.
People don't know about it, and if you don't know, then that's the story behind Luke and his succession to the throne. So back to what we were saying. We are dressed today in
Oh,
our
yes, that's
native Abu Dhabi outfits. You are dressed as a nomadic herdsman.
Oh.
Yeah, you've got the traditional herdsman.
Is that why there's sheep outside?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It's not for the nativity scene. We are going to build a nativity scene as F1
yes.
podcast nativity scene, but that's not the reason. And
Who's going to be baby Jesus?
Peter. Peter baby Jesus, we're going to call him. He's already he has no hair on his body. He's shaved. He loves to shave down.
I think he uses that cream.
Yeah.
It just makes your hair fall out.
Yeah. Yeah. He would be a very cute little baby
I
Jesus.
found it put on my head.
He's a lot less judgy. He's probably...
He's less smitey
yeah.
than his dad.
Yeah. Not as good a producer as Jesus was,
Oh,
but
Jesus.
he could
mixes the
produce a
channels.
show, couldn't he?
Oh,
Couldn't he get the crowd going?
couldn't he, Jesus?
Couldn't he? People loved him.
Yeah.
He was a rock
Hung on
star.
every word he said,
Absolutely.
and they still believe it.
And I am dressed as your trusty favourite camel.
Oh. Am I going to give you do you have a name?
It's up to you. I'm your camel. You can call me whatever you like, but I'm your trusty camel.
I will call you
It's hot in this suit, by the way.
Pamela Anderson.
Oh. I'm a camel that you've become very, very close to. Too close.
Yeah, those humps are man-made.
That's why I can't sit down. And so it makes sense. We're dressed up on the podcast today for FE1 Podcast. Makes complete sense. Right, Luke, next up, we really should chat to Robert Kubica.
Oh, I love Robert.
Yep, hand in the paddock.
All right. I've
Sure.
got some questions for him.
Play that theme song, would you, mate?
Hand in the paddock, hand in the paddock, it's hand in the paddock with Robert Kubica. Robert Kubica. Hey, hey, hey.
Love that theme song. All right, let's cross to him, shall we?
Okay.
Hey, fellas. Hello, it's me, Robert Kubica. Hello.
G'day, Robert.
Hey, fellas, I've been on hold for a while. I've been here. I'm in the paddock.
And I've been very busy. I must tell you. Thanks to Everyone Podcast, I now have a sponsor in Poland. Well, you know that I have a #1 hit song on the pop charties.
Yes.
Yes, I.
Papa Charties.
No, you're making fun of my accent.
No,
Please, look,
not at
be
all.
sensitive culturally.
No.
I'm a different.
I just needed to digest what you'd said. It was no piss take of your accent.
Poppy coaches.
Papa culture.
Poppy coaches. Okay. However you say in your right. I think Australian accent is very, very crazy. You think I have accent when I speak English?
No, not at all.
Okay, because I think your Australian accent is very crazy.
Thank you.
It's okay. But I have to tell you, fellas, really, in Poland, my #1 hit single, Hen in the Paddock, Fist in My Anus, has taken off. Very popular. And because of
Are you going to enter it in Eurovision?
Yes, I have been tipped and asked for by President
Wow.
Rafala. He has asked me to represent Poland in Eurovision. And I say, yes.
I've heard a rumor
Yes.
coming from your president.
Yes.
What's his name?
Echme. Great guy, very funny.
President.
Loves pickles. Echme.
Yes.
Yes.
That
Do you know him?
sounds like a skin disease.
Yes.
Eczema.
He has bad skin, actually.
He has asked you
Yes.
to possibly pen a new national anthem of Poland.
Yes.
And
Correct. Yes.
how would something like this sound?
Well,
You know, you've got the Polish people in front of you. They're all standing up. And what's the song that you're going to sing?
yes. Well, you're right. You're very true because
Is this a rough draft?
people are very emotionally attached to the song Hand in the Park, Fist in My Asshole. And there has been a lot of fan mail saying we need this song to be the national Polish anthem. And I cried when I heard the news. I was very emotional. I'm an emotional guy.
You are.
And I said, yes, Mr. Hen, I will do this. I will write the Polish anthem and I will be proud to sing it. But I need some backup singers and dancers.
So everyone.
Hand in the paddock,
So anyone.
fist in my asshole.
So anyone
Hand in the paddock. Fist in my buttock. And then we have trumpets.
fist in the buttock.
Oh, yes, and then we have
Fist
the...
in the buttock.
Yes, the big Polish guy.
Fist in
In the
the buttock.
buttock. Hand in my asshole. And then we have the choir singing. The ladies come in and they have an octave or two higher. Hand in the buttock. Fist in my asshole. Yes, very nice. I like. Yes, you could be. Maybe you get you to sing with the backup singers.
I can do that.
Very nice.
So what I want people at home is when they hear this song to stand up.
Stand up. It's a song you cannot help but stand up and be proud. It doesn't matter what country you're from. If you don't stand up, put your hand on your heart and sing proudly. Fist in my anus. And you're something very wrong with you.
Deep in the buttock.
Dip in the buttock. Maybe you can help me with writing the next line because my English is not so good. So let me. Okay, so this is what I got so far, and the pressure is on because I need to prepare this song and speak to the choir, the backup singers by 1 week's time. I need to sing live on Polish television and say, "Hello,
We can work this
hello
out.
everybody. I am Robert Kubica. You might remember me from the racing car F1 and also Fist in Paddock." F1 podcast, and that's when people will really know that they'll go, oh, yeah, we think he's a racing car
He's
driver,
a
but we know
respected
he's
man."
on the podcast. Because
Yes.
everyone knows that
Everyone in Poland knows you.
the podcast is more popular than Formula One. Oh,
Yes.
it's okay, no problem. So, I need to write this song. Here is my first line. Yes, okay. Hand in the paddock, fist in my asshole. Then,
Fist in your asshole.
yes,
Okay.
yes, of course.
I thought it was fist in the asshole.
Oh no, fist. Yes, sorry.
In yours.
Fist in the asshole.
Yes.
No, don't fist me. please.
Fist in the,
asshole. And then hand in the paddock, fist in my buttock.
In your buttock.
Yes,
Fist
in my buttock. And then
Up to my elbow.
oh, nice. Wait, let me get the pen. Let me get the pen. Well, say that again.
Up to the elbow.
Up,
I can feel your tonsils.
cough.
You are COVID clean.
Oh, look, I cannot thank you enough. You're making me cry. Oh,
Listen, write this down. Take it to your leader, Mr.
man. Thank you, Luke. I don't know what to say.
It's yours.
Oh my gosh, Poland, I'm coming.
One more thing.
Yes.
Before we go and let you go.
Yes, I got some testing to do. I need to go back to the paddock.
Why didn't you lie and say that Lewis, you could taste the COVID of his test?
I'm sorry, you speak too fast in English. You need to slow down.
Why didn't you sort of make up a lie and say that Lewis still had COVID-19 in his system? You tested him and you
Yes.
gave him the all clear for this weekend.
I
but
did.
Wouldn't you think for the sport's sake you could just maybe test a little bit of COVID?
Still some residual COVID there on the rim.
But you didn't.
Well,
You're very
Yes, sometimes when
truthful.
it's a Polish people are very truthful people, and when I go deep inside someone's anus, I rummage around with my finger. Sometimes I just
You can't lie when you're that deep.
No, you cannot lie when your fist up to the elbow, huh? And my finger is moving around, and then I think on the way out. Yes, you're right. I think COVID traces maybe on the outside of the anus.
Oh, you did.
But I was so deep.
You
deep.
tasted the fingers, not the elbow.
I should have tasted my elbows. Yeah,
Can
but
you lick your elbow?
I find it tricky because after my crash, a big accident with the car, and
Your gammy arm.
yes, it's not so great. I can't do much with this elbow.
Okay.
But good point. Look, I could have done testing better.
That's okay. It's something to think about. But good luck with President. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, by the way, I've now also sponsored. I have a personal sponsor.
Who is your personal sponsor?
Well, there is a very nice. Have you tasted pickled cock? Have you ever tasted the pickled cock?
No, I haven't.
It's Poland's second favorite dish after cabbage. Pickled cock, and I have my face. They put my face on the pickled cock.
No.
Yes, so you see a cock, and then my face on the jar. Inside the jar is pickled cock.
That's nice.
So now they call me and they say, "We know you here."
So you're the face of pickled cock.
Correct. They say, "Robert, we love the F1 podcast. Please, can you represent us as a pickled cock?" I say, "Yes, of course, no problem."
Your arm does kind of look very much like the throat of a cock,
It does. Yes.
especially when it's been pickled.
Correct. Look, now you have a refreshing snack. You can wake up in the middle of the night, go to the fridge, crack open the bottle,
It's great in summer.
and nibble on that delicious cock.
That brine,
Yes.
delicious.
I get sponsored. I'm wearing my T-shirt with the cock on top.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yes. Very nice.
Thank you for your time again, Robert.
Thanks for. Hey, I love the podcast. Really, truly. Hey, and by the way, I must say one more time, so much respect to you. Thank you for the Polish national anthem. You make me very proud.
You're welcome.
I'm forever in your debt. If you ever need the COVID test, please, you know where to find me.
I'll see you in Melbourne.
I'll be deep, really deep up to your eyeballs. Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wow. That was nice. Robert Kubica, everybody. Former Formula One driver, talented driver,
Superstar.
even more talented COVID tester.
One of the best crashes I've ever seen.
Very impressive. Made that.
Remember in
Grosjean?
Canada?
Yeah.
And he had hit the wall and then went on the side and rolled away. Man got out of that one.
Boy, oh boy. We should have a quick squizzy at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Luke.
Yep.
Last Grand Prix of the season. What are you looking forward to?
I'm not looking forward to this season being over, if I'm brutally honest.
It's getting better. It's getting better and better.
It is, but it's about to end. So the tyres this weekend are the C3, C4, C5. So the three softest compounds this weekend for the Yas Marina circuit. They will be doing 55 laps of the 5.554 kilometre track. The race distance is 305.355. They sort of do like fives
Yeah, they do.
in Abu Dhabi.
They do, don't they?
Lewis Hamilton has the lap record of 1 minute 39.283. That is the Yas Marina circuit.
Yeah.
Beautiful track.
Yes.
A little bit dinky into the, I think it's the second sector.
Yep.
It's a little bit sort of 90 degree.
Yes.
But that's what it is.
Is what it is. It is what it is. And who do you see suiting this track?
Well,
Mercedes would be hard to beat, obviously.
Mercedes,
Dominating.
Red Bull, and then it's going to be interesting. The race for fourth, if Racing Point have a solid, just a normal weekend, they'll win the third in the Constructors' Championship.
Yep.
Sergio Perez has got a decent lead for fourth driver in the championship. But yeah, there's a lot to play for. Speaking of play for, it's nearly over in our third championship. There's one more weekend to go. You've got Magnussen in the lead on 166 negative points. Latifi on negative 152 points. It's really between those two now.
Wow.
Russell is on 137 and Giovinazzi negative 133. Grosjean, he won't be scoring any more negative points for the year, so he's secured. He won't be in the top three, but it's between Russell and Giovinazzi for third and Latifi and Magnussen to take out the third championship trophy.
Oh, so close, Luke.
And our tipping competition.
Oh, how's that going?
There's one weekend to go, mate.
And
there is 1 point between myself and Cliff.
Cliff.
220 points myself, Cliff 219.
Shh, Cliffy, come on, Cliff.
Pete's on 214.
You can
Jim
take
213. Pat 203. And Adam still in 199.
I've been throwing Hail Marys, haven't I?
You have, and you have to.
You get to the point where you just double down and it just gets worse. All reason goes thrown out the window. But that's fine.
You
Hey,
got to do that. It comes to a point. I did that the last couple of years.
You did.
I've just
did.
gone, you know what? I need to...
Roll the dice now.
That's it.
That's the problem when you're
That's
behind.
why I kept losing.
Go Cliff. You can do this, big fella. We're going to quickly chat to Sebastian Vettel. Any news from the Monaco of the Gold Coast, Luke? The Nürburgring GP. Any quick updates of how's the progress of... We're, of course, going to be proposing this again to FIFA. To Liberty Media, hoping they're going to take on another Australian Grand Prix. We've got the Melbourne, but the Gold Coast, Nürburgring. It's beautiful.
So what we're planning to do for the... we've actually got... We've asked a talent pool to get... how can we get people, especially in like the hospitality areas, the Paddock Club, we've decided to go for monkey butlers. So we'll have monkeys.
Yes.
Not chimps because they're a bit dangerous. We're going to go with monkeys. And they're going to be walking around little butler outfits, holding trays of champagne, handing out canapes.
That's brilliant.
It's going to be...
Trained monkeys. Yeah.
And they work for crack.
Yes.
Which is very readily available at Formula One.
Absolutely.
In the Nürburgring.
In Nürburgring. Oh, it's everywhere, that stuff.
Yeah.
And adds an extra element. They do like to throw their own poo.
Oh, imagine
So
that
that
on
makes
the
it
track.
even more entertaining. They're handing out champagne and you've got to dodge poo.
It's dinner and a show. That's not caviar.
It's not... Sebastian Vettel. Shall we get into it? Let's have a quick
Yes.
chat. Hi, guys. Hi, it's me, Sebastian Vettel.
Sorry to keep you on
Four-time
hold for
world
so
champion. What's going on? Look. You
Your
look
last-
amazing.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. You've
Your-
lost some veg.
Your last race for the Scuderia.
Oh,
How do you
God.
feel?
Thank fuck. Jesus Christ. What a fucking... just no one else is listening, I hope. It's just you and me, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're not going to podcast? You're not recording the button? You know, haven't get the record button?
I've recorded,
Fantastic.
but we don't get many people
Oh,
listening.
good,
so.
look. How many downloads you guys getting still?
I think it's 7 this
I
year.
thought so. 7? Not 70?
No, 7.
Not 700?
No, we've put out more podcasts than listeners.
Not 70000?
No,
Just 7.
just 7.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, your
It's a good 7.
My
anyway.
secret's safe with you then.
Cool.
Oh, Jesus. I can't wait to get out of Ferrari. Fucking hell. I just want to get to Austin Mooten. I want to get to Austin Mooten.
You're going to get your own fancy Aston Martin car?
I'm gonna get my Austin Mooten bleached.
I don't know why I didn't think of that beforehand, but yes, you will be.
I'm going to get my Austin Blutchen fixed. And I'm going to get the undercarriage done, all in the same motif. And I just can't wait to get into I wonder what kind of car I'm going to have.
Does it going to be green or pink?
I hope it's going to
Does
be...
pink and green go together? I don't think it does.
I don't know. Green and pink. When's the last time I had green and pink together? Oh, that's right. What a night. That was crazy. Green in the pink. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mr. Green. Oh, Mr. Green. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so...
Was that with the candlestick in the library?
No, it's my vibe. I'm a heterosexual guy, Luke.
I
don't want to talk about my
I said
private
there's a
life.
candlestick.
Look, I'm
With
only...
7 people listening.
I only want to do this podcast if there is not talking about the private life, okay?
Sorry.
I'm a heterosexual guy who loves the ladies.
You keep reinstating that.
Heidi
That's
is my wife. She's not a man, okay? Jesus Christ. So, yeah.
How are the kids?
The who? Oh, that's right. I got 3 kids, haven't I? Yeah, the, little Hans, little Gruber, and also little Ricky. They're all
Little
5.
Ricky.
Yeah. Look at Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, Ricky. And Ricky, Danny Ricciardo. I like the Danny Ricciardo. He's such a great guy. He's such a really fun guy. But
Sounds like you got all the names from I Love Lucy. Ricky Ricardo.
Yeah, Ricky Ricardo. So yeah, everything's great. So home life is wonderful. Looking forward to, catching up with them after the season finishes.
Now you've won a lot of
Friends,
championships
awards.
at the Yas Marina circuit. Do you think you'll have a one-up for one last time over Charles Leclerc?
No, he's too fast. He's too fucking
He's pretty
fast.
quick, huh?
He's very quick, yeah. I don't know what to do. Like, he's just so fast at the moment. So, luckily, the fast driver from Aston Martin is leaving, and they're leaving the little strolley behind for me to play with.
It's exciting.
Oh gosh, it's gonna be it's gonna be fun. I mean, he's gonna make me look good again, which is what I need to do because every time I drive a car, the guy's way too fast for me.
How do you rate your chances against Charles? You think you're going to beat him?
Oh yeah, chauffeur, whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Oh God, at least 51% of the time I'll be on top of him.
That's good. 51, you win it.
I'll be on top of him, really on top.
Um,
But I don't mind also taking it from behind. So if he wants to be on top, sometimes that's okay as well. We take turns. Yeah.
have you thought about writing a...
Memoir.
What would you put in it for this year? You know, the book of Sebastian Vettel.
This year and 2020, yeah, with the masks and the COVID, it was just a shit year for all around for me personally on the driving circuit and also for the world. I'm just glad that not many people came to the races to see me suck so bad, because I know how to suck.
Could there be some kind of guilt over performing so badly in front of a lot of people, but now you don't have that responsibility?
Correct. It's like a reset. I can just, this is my shit year, is even worse than the last 5. And now I can just reboot and hopefully we have a nice fast car and I'll be back to the top of my game.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know what's exciting?
What?
Your beard.
What about it?
It's so manly. So manly. And your chiseled chin and your jawline.
I don't have a chin or a jawline. That's why I have a beard.
Yeah.
It just goes from face to neck.
Okay.
There's no defined line. That's why I have the beard to fool you.
I don't know why you haven't got a girlfriend yet, Luke. It's just weird. Like, you're such a hottie.
To you, yes.
And you lost so much weight as well. Like, you're doing the F45 workout, the man shaking. You're doing all the correct stuff.
Again, that man shaking is something I do in my private time, and you'll find it on my OnlyFans page.
Yeah. I love to see the page.
You're the only subscriber.
I know.
And you tip a lot of money, which is
I'm
very thankful.
I do send you lots of cash just to see your Google stack. But hey,
I
you do have
appreciate
a lovely looking Google stack. Look, guys, hey, this has been great. I just don't. I think this is talking too much about the private life. So.
Enjoy your last race with the Scuderia.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for being on the F1 podcast.
That's nice, wasn't it? Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion for this little Aussie podcast. Really lovely. Anything you'd like to add before we nick off, mate? Because
We're going to do our tips.
we've got our tips. Yes, of
The
course.
last weekend.
Oh.
Mercedes. Who are you going to go for?
Well, Hamilton, of course.
Yes, same.
Double Hamilton, yes.
Then we're going to go with, who's the other team? Red Bull.
Red Bull, double Max.
Max.
Yeah. I should be throwing some Hail Mary, shouldn't I? Can I change that?
You
I'll go double Bottas.
Double Bottas.
Double Bottas. Double Albon.
I'm all tangled up here. So Bottas for you,
Yep.
and you're going to Alexander Albon.
No, I'll go Max to qualify, Albon to beat him in the race.
All right, AA, then Max. All right, I will go Max because I'm not a retard.
Yep.
What's next? McLaren. Let's go Racing Point. Let's
Go Racing Point. Yeah, let's go double Chico. Chico. His last race. He's going to Red Bull next year, Luke. He's fucking going to go Red Bull.
I hope so.
He is going to be a very good, driver to sit alongside Max.
Yeah, here's a tight one. McLaren. Sainz Norris.
I'll go double Norris. He's been a bit quiet recently, but I'll go double Norris. I need to throw some haymakers.
Yep. I'm going Sainz. I just like the way he's going about his business.
Yeah.
Next up is Renault.
Double Dan.
Oh, yeah. I'll be going with the Mr. Ricardo.
Yep.
He's a solid driver, young Australian,
Yep.
if anyone's ever heard of him before. Next up, we have AlphaTauri.
I'll go... Oh, I might go the Italian. Chuck in the Italian for me, please. Oh, sorry, I thought Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri. I'll go for double Gasly, man.
Gasly.
Double gas, man. And while you're there, put me down for a double Italian for the Alfa Romeo.
All right, I will go Gasly. I'm going safe
Yeah.
for me. Just
Raikkonen.
I will go Giovinazzi quali, Raikkonen race. That's my choice.
Fair enough.
Next up we have Haas.
I'll go... Well, Grosjean's back, isn't he?
No,
Oh, he's not back.
no, it's Fittipaldi.
Oh, Fittipaldi. Oh, okay. Well, then double Magnussen for me.
Yep.
Fittipaldi's rubbish.
Mags for me. What's another team they have?
Williams.
Williams,
Russell. Double Russ.
GR. I think Aiken did a decent job. He was quite close
Yeah.
to Latifi in qualifying
Did okay, didn't he?
and drove a solid race before his little spinny spin. We have one more team. Why am I forgetting this team?
What? Who are we missing?
So I got Mercedes,
Yeah.
Red Bull Racing Point, McLaren, Renault, Alpha, Haas, Williams. Oh, no? I've just completely gone blank. Everyone will be listening to this going, it's this team, you fucking idiots.
Let's
You're not
just have
cheating,
a
are
look
you?
here.
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
You know how bad your year is when
you forget
people
Ferrari.
forget.
Oh, bang. You nailed it, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
That sums up this year. Absolutely sums it right up.
Sebastian Vettel, Fingerboy Vettel, his last race of the Scuderia. Or
Let's go double Sebastian.
Seb.
Give it to me. Absolutely.
Should I go Sebastian for the heart?
I think you should. No, don't be silly.
All right, there are our tips.
That's it. Wrap it up, big fella. Oh, your beautiful mother, Mrs. Luke.
Thanks, Mum.
Mrs. Luke putting on a Bahraini, not a Bahraini,
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. It's pretty much the same. It's sandy. It's lamby.
It's cabbagey.
It's a lot of cabbage.
Baklava.
A lot of baklava. A lot of couscous. It's delicious, but thank you, Mrs. Luke, very much for, as usual, putting
Lamb's
on a lovely
head.
spread. Thank you for the spread, and thank you also for the food. See you after the race, big guy.
Thank you.
One to go.
Don't shit yourself.
Lock it in. Try not to. Oops, too late.
Oh, Daniel.
Oh,
Again?
no.
Really?
We forgot Dan.
He's not on.
He's on
He's hung up.
He's hung up.
Fuck, we'll never get him there.
Oh, this is bad.
It's okay to joke, but
Should we
now,
do a post-sell?
yeah.
Jeez, it would have been good to have Dan on the show,
Wow,
wouldn't
it be great to have him
Great
on?
show. Really
Would have been
great.
better if we had Daniel.
What was your highlights?
The bit at the end where we missed Daniel.
Yeah, that was pretty...
I think Robert Kubica's new song,
Mm,
his national
the
anthem.
national anthem. moving, isn't it? Moving stuff. He was very emotional.
I think we
about
should
it.
just do a Robert Kubica podcast.
I don't know why we don't just have 3 hosts. Could we not just fit one more seat at this table?
I'm
this
sure we
little
could.
round
I could
table?
fit 2 here. Pete and Robert. Bring him in.
Yeah, I
All
like
right.
it. Let's do it.
See you next week.
Bye.